Hey everyone, my name is Leah. I blog at My Favorite Adventure, and it is time for the Golden Vlog. I'm really excited this month because I get to introduce myself as one of the hosts. Faith from Life with Mrs. G and the artist and the mastermind behind the Golden Vlog has kind of restructured the Golden Vlog and brought on more hosts, which I'm really excited about. So basically being a host means that I get to collaborate with the other ladies in coming up with themes and questions and working with giveaways if we're doing that. So that being said, we do welcome comments and thoughts and suggestions, so please, if you have any ideas for next month or in the future, please leave them down below and I would love to hear them and pass them on to the other hosts. So this month, rather than having a very lighthearted topic, we're going a little deeper and we're talking about insecurities. I'm going to dive right in because my insecurity is going to take a little bit of explaining, so I don't want it to be too long. The first question is, what is your biggest insecurity? I did a post quite a while ago on Faith's blog, actually. She did a series on insecurities, and the one I wrote about was being insecure about my story. And I will link that down below so you can kind of get an idea of what I mean by that, but I'm going to go into something else for this vlog. So, as I've matured and grown a little more, both physically and spiritually, emotionally, all that, my insecurities have moved from physical to more emotional and mental. So I would say right now my biggest insecurity is my personality, which is kind of depressing when I say it out loud, but I promise it's not that bad. So I find that my personality, I'm not very good at connecting with people and making deep relationships. That being said, online I find this much easier because I have time to compose my thoughts and I have time to write them out or email them or something like that. In person, I can be very awkward. I find that I'm good at listening, I'm good at asking questions, but going to the deeper level of actually becoming friends with somebody in real life is kind of hard for me. I struggle with feeling like people don't remember me. People don't think about me. For example, if you're having a bridal shower and we have talked before, at church, and I feel like we're kind of friends, but you won't think of me to invite me somewhere or something like that, which I really don't care that much because I'm an introvert and I have a hard time with doing stuff like that anyway. I feel overlooked a lot of the time because of my personality. Number 2, how long have you struggled with this insecurity? I don't really know if I would be able to put a date on it. I feel like, I guess it kind of started in college. I was involved with Crew, our campus ministry there, a non-denominational Christian organization. I was a Bible study leader and a target area leader, and I discipled a few women. And I feel like I made probably 2 friends in college. 2 or 3. Which, now that I think about it, is actually kind of really sad. But I was really involved in this ministry, and I'm not knocking the ministry itself because that's not the problem. I went to Bible studies and I went to our large group gathering every Thursday, and I just feel like I met so many people, but I never could come across as somebody you want to connect with, somebody that you want to get to know more. And I don't know if that is just the college atmosphere, but I kept seeing all these relationships forming around me, and sometimes I would just go to my dorm and think what am I doing wrong? What about me makes people not want to get to know me more? Why don't I get invited to stuff? Why do I see people going out for ice cream and I'm not invited? So that is kind of what started all this insecurity about my personality. Oh my gosh, I just dropped my phone and scared the crap out of myself. Number 3, do friends and family know about this insecurity? I don't think it's very widespread. I would say that my younger sister definitely knows because I've talked to her about this because we felt kind of the same way before. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I'm getting this emotional about this. It's crazy. And I've kind of talked to my mom about it before. It's not something that comes into conversation very often. So my close friends and family do know. Number 4, what do you do to overcome this insecurity? I find that as I'm learning more about finding authentic community online, I'm starting to transfer that into my real life. So that's helping, but we have a women's ministry at my church that I'm involved in, and we had a conference last spring, and one of the topics that we covered was about finding community. And one of the points that our speaker made was that if you feel like people aren't finding you, you need to find your community yourself. People a lot of the time aren't going to seek you out, no matter like who you are. So that really hit me hard. I mean, I can sit here and I can whine about how I feel left out or how I feel like I don't have that many friends, but I'm not doing anything about it. I am starting more and more to put myself out there and to try and make friends myself instead of waiting for them to come to me, because if I just wait around all the time, I'm just going to be waiting. That's all I'm going to do, and nothing comes from that. I'm learning that I need to seek out people, and as scary as it is for me to do because I'm so insecure about my personality and who I am as a person, like, it's hard, but as I'm doing that more often, it's bearing more fruit, and that's all that really matters. Number 5, what advice would you give to your younger self or anyone else struggling with insecurities? It's a really good question. And it's kind of hard for me to answer. I would say don't let your insecurities stop you from doing things, which is so hard, especially if you have an insecurity as large as being insecure about the person that you are, like I do. I've let it stop me from doing things, and that's not the point. Yeah, I might be insecure about the person that I am, but that doesn't mean that I'm invaluable. It doesn't mean that insecurity, it's false belief about myself. That's what it is. I believe that I'm not worth remembering. That's what I tell myself. That's why I'm insecure about my personality. But that's not true, because God loves me, God created me, and He loves me the way I am. He wouldn't make me to be insecure. That's not the way He is. Even if you don't believe in God, you shouldn't let things stop you from making yourself a better person. I've turned down opportunities like helping with a ministry or like providing a talent for somebody just because I'm insecure about who I am. Like, it's not okay, and I find that it makes me more angry than anything that I'm turning down things that could better me as a person just because I think that I'm not good enough. My piece of advice to anybody struggling with an insecurity is don't let it stop you. I know it's hard, but diving into the things that scare you head on, that's what's going to make you overcome what you're insecure about. And I know it's easier said than done, and I don't do it all the time either, but that is my advice. Okay, hopefully this wasn't super long. I feel like it was a lot to fit into a video. Now that I'm like processing this, like I feel like it's deeper than I realized. I really need to start thinking about this more and kind of unpacking it. Maybe it'll turn into a series in my blog as I'm learning more about myself. Don't let this topic scare you. Seriously, if you were thinking about doing the golden vlog, but then you read the questions and you're like, nope, I do not want to go there. I thought the same thing too, and I'm the one that helped come up with the questions. Seriously. So don't let it scare you. The first step to conquering an insecurity is talking about it and getting it out there and having people come alongside you who have the same problems. Like that's what community is about. And I feel like just talking about what you struggle with is the first step. I really hope that you'll link up with us. Again, if you have any questions or thoughts or suggestions for the golden vlog, please leave them in the comments. I would love to talk to you. I'm gonna drink this giant Pepsi that I bought on the way home from work and watch The Walking Dead before the new season starts. That being said, I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the longest outro I've ever filmed before. Alright, bye.